Welcome back. We got some new parts for the ciao. I'm gonna start working on it. Right now we got the new side covers, as you can see. They're not bolted on or anything yet. Then we got this top engine cover. Just pops on. We gotta figure out a bracket to get that mounted up. And then we got, where'd my box go? There it is. We got our new exhaust. Got it out of the packaging, the orginally fire pipe, and then we got some new cables too. The ones that are on here, I mean, are fine, but they're just old, so might as well replace them over there. Got the hardware, the like push pins and the springs for the side covers. New fan cover, because the one that was on there has a hole. And then a new taillight lens too. So we'll get that put on. Eventually I want to switch to the Euro tail light, so it's just kind of smooth on here and gets rid of this whole big bulky mess. It just looks a lot cleaner, so we'll do that. But first we're going to start on getting this exhaust done, and then we'll put a bigger jet in a carburetor, and then we'll see if we can go for a test ride. Okay, first thing we're going to do is take off the exhaust. You got your clamp up here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me grab a light. You got your clamp right there. It's just one nut. You'll loosen that. On mine, it's a 12mm bolt. Yours might be the same, might be different. Not sure. And then you come back here, and you got this one tab right here where the bolt goes through. And this one's a 13mm, so you'll pop both of those off, and then your exhaust will come right off. Off, new pipes kind of in place. Comes with a new clamp, so I kind of just put this on here and tighten it a little bit just so it doesn't slide everywhere when I'm trying to put it on. And then we'll put this up into the position, put this back bolt on, and then they give you this little coupler nut. So what you want, one side's smaller, one side's bigger. So the side that's smaller, your head nut that's in here that holds your cylinder head on, you'll take that one off and you're going to replace it with this coupler nut, getting that tightened down, and then you'll take one of these bolts and it will screw into your coupler nut, and that's going to go on this front tab, and that's just to give your pipe some more support up front. So I'm going to get to it, and then once I get to the little coupler nut part, I'll come back and show you a little more in detail. Okay, so right here, that's your head nut. You're going to pop that off. And then that decompression lever springs behind it, so make sure that stays in place. So pop that nut off, and then throw the coupler nut on. Coupler nut is on. You actually want to do that first before you put the pipe on. Ask me how I know. And then, so now we'll put the pipe up in place, get the rear bolt on, and then get the exhaust clamp tightened, and then we'll put these front bolts on, or actually just one bolt. and then we should be up and mounted. I'm making these mistakes for you guys. So this clamp, actually have it on wrong. So what, because if you get it in here, and you can see it starts hitting the engine case, so this actually has to be taken off, flipped upside down, and then the bolt actually has to go on this side by the head. So I'm gonna do that real quick and then come back. Okay, here it is. It's pretty simple. I did have to bend this tab out a little bit to get everything in place, but yeah, it's just that one bolt that bolts into that coupler nut. And then when you're doing this, you want to leave everything kind of loose so you have some wiggle room to make sure everything fits properly. You got your one bolt here, tighten your clamp, and you're good to go. So we're installed right now. We're ready to run. I'm going to pull the carburetor off and put a bigger jet in there. Right now it's 45, which is too small for what I'm running with just that air filter. It should be about a 48, but I'm going to put a 50 in mostly because that's the smallest I have. It's still on a 1210. I have a 1212 coming, and it'll be here on Monday. Right now it's Saturday as I'm filming this, so I'm going to put in the 50 jet, and then we'll get it started up and see how it goes. Jet in your carb, all you do is pop the float bowl off. Just these two screws. There's this one, and there's that one. So once your float bowl's off, all you're gonna do is remove your main jet, which is right there. So I'll remove that. This one is a 45. Let's see if I can get you to see it. Nope, it's a 45, just trust me. And then this is our new one, which is a 50. So screw that back in. It doesn't need to be crazy tight. You'll feel it just snugs up almost instantly. Okay, main jet's installed, and then you'll just throw your float bowl back on. You can see my gasket came off right here. So make sure that gasket goes back on your float bowl. And then we'll throw the carb back on and airbox, and then see if we can get this thing started again with the new pipe. Everything's back installed. Let's go ahead and try our first startup with the new exhaust. Gotta turn the kill switch on. Okay, we got it all started up. Sounds good. One thing I did notice though when I went to start it is that my pedal is interfering with the pipe. I mean, just the smallest of maybe 1/8 of an inch. So I guess you can see it a little better right there. So I'll probably just heat up this pedal arm and bend it out a little bit. I think that's gonna solve all my problems instead of having to beat up the new exhaust. So, but for now, we'll take it outside, go on our first little ride, see the difference, test out our top speed now, and then we'll come back. First ride with the new fire pipe. See how it goes. So far, still slow. We'll go down here for a little bit, right around. Luckily there's a lot of construction area in my neighborhood, or they're building new houses, so it sounds like the jet's almost too big. Just kind of four-stroking. But yeah, that's what's happening, because it doesn't feel like it's getting into the power band. So it has a 50 jet in it right now. I think it probably needs like a 48. But we'll ride for a little bit longer and then see if it does anything. But by the feels of it, I doubt it. We're back. Last time you saw me, we were riding the Ciao around, trying to get the jetting right, and I figured out that the new carb that I got, it's a clone carb, it's like $20. I just got it because I wanted to test it out, and I didn't want to seal, so I was getting an air leak from the intake. So I knew I wanted to go a little faster with the Ciao, so what I did, I was gonna, you know, buy a crank and buy a kit and do all that. But I found a good deal on a motor for what it was going to cost me to rebuild this one with all the new stuff. I found this motor right here, which is actually a Euro CDI motor. So just 3 wires off the engine. We got our coil, and then it has a DR kit. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Come on. Maybe, no? Okay, take my word for it. It says DR. You can kind of see it. So it has a cut crank in it. It's been rebuilt. The intake's already been bored out to 13 millimeters. So we are gonna pop this motor out and get ready to throw this one in. So I'm gonna start working on that, and then I'll come back and talk to you about what else we have going on. So on these Euro CDI motors, this is the CDI box and coil. It's all in one. I had to figure out a way to mount it, and it kind of, this little bump right here fits perfectly into this divot in the frame. And if I want to run the side covers, I think that's going to be the best way to put it. But where these holes are lined up, it's right where the gas tank is, so I can't drill a hole in there. So what I'm going to try to do is I have some of this. It's 3M dual lock. It's just like it's like Velcro, but it doesn't have the like fuzzy side. So I've used it before on other bikes on places where I couldn't mount electronics and never had an issue with it. So I'm gonna try to put it on here and put it on the coil and see how flush it still fits in here, because eventually I want to put the side covers on, and then so I want it to fit all under there and kind of sit in there clean. So I'm gonna try that, and then we'll come back. It's all mounted up with the dual lock in there. It works pretty well. Just kind of position it back into place, push it in, and then hold it. So it seems to hold it good, and then especially with the side covers on, I don't think it's going anywhere. And then you don't have to worry about it being grounded here, because this is your ground. So I'm gonna start working on getting the new motor in, and then we'll work on getting it wired up and making sure we have spark, and then I guess we'll go from there. Okay, we got the motor all in. Our wiring is hooked up. So first thing I want to do is check for spark. So we'll do that. Looks like we got good spark. Oh. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the carburetor on and the exhaust, and then we'll see if we can get it fired up. Okay, we're ready for our first startup. I'm gonna drop it down and give it a go. Okay, we're finally back working on the ciao. Last time you saw it, I had just did the first startup, and it fired up, ran good, but I'm not sure if you can hear it in the video, but the flywheel was hitting on the case. So you can see right there is hitting, and a couple other little spots. So what I ended up doing is a friend of mine, Tyler, has a lathe, so he threw this in his lathe and just took a little bit off, and just enough so it would clear on the case so it's not touching anymore. So thank you, Tyler, for that. So now that we got it all back, it's good. Time to throw it back in the bike and then hopefully take it on its first ride. Okay, time for the second first ride in this video. The ciao is up and running, as you can tell. It has a DR kit installed with a Delorto 1210 bored out to 13 millimeters, and then the 13 millimeter on the cases is bored out to 13 as well. And then it's got a cut crank in it with a Euro CDI. It feels so much better than stock. It's actually getting out of its own way. It feels pretty fun. The all rigid ciao is, like we've talked about before, something I wanted for a long time, but one of the main reasons is they feel like a BMX bike, which is good and bad. They feel a little sketchy at times, but they also feel really good. You feel connected and feel like you can feel everything. Oh man, feels so good. I don't want to rip on it too hard because this motor hasn't been ran before, so kind of got to break it in and do all that. But I don't know, some people say take it easy, some people say to, you know, just run it hard right off the bat. I've done it both ways, and more than likely if you're tuned correctly you're not going to have a problem. So I don't know, I kind of just ride it like I normally would, even new or not. I'll take it easy a little bit, but not too much. Luckily they're building a bunch of new homes by me, so there's all these open kind of just back community areas. Gotta adjust these brakes a little bit. For whatever reason, the rear brake, it kind of like, it pulses when you get on it. It's kind of weird. I haven't had that before on another bike. I know they run one brake shoe in the rear, so maybe that could have something to do with it. I'm not sure. I haven't even popped it off to really check it out. But maybe we'll find a straight here. I'll come out to this main road and get on it a little bit, see what kind of speeds we're getting out of it. But I mean, already the torque and just the power feels really good. I haven't hooked up the lights or anything yet. I gotta figure out the wiring for the Euro CDI, and also I got a Euro headlight for it, so I gotta wire that in. Just the big regular bullet style headlight looks so goofy on these things. I wanted to get away from that. I don't even know if it idles. Yeah, it idles. Okay, GPS app, reset counters. Okay, we'll give it a go. What just happened? Oh, we're good. Okay. I mean, it's crazy. I haven't ridden a Vespa with a DR kit before, and I've heard that these kits, RPM wise, they kind of just keep pulling, and that's what I'm feeling. So maybe this straight will be a little bit better. $35, $36. Okay, I had to get off. Riding this thing with one hand is pretty sketchy. It didn't want to brake to 40, but 39. So I mean, I wasn't expecting any crazy speed wise. I really just wanted more torque. 40 is fine for me on this thing. I don't really want to go much faster than that anyways. I could swap out to a 80 millimeter rear pulley and get some more top speed, but honestly I'd just rather have the off the line torque instead. So, but feels good. I have a 70 jet in it right now, a Malossi air filter, and then I put yellow clutch springs in it, Malossi clutch springs. So that's kind of the setup on it, but yeah, it feels great. Well, the first ride, first ride went great. I ended up throwing these side panels on. I wasn't going to, I was going to save it for next time, but next time we'll have to figure out I got the Euro headlight for it, so we're going to put that in, put the new brake pupils on, get the brakes adjusted. Then I want to get a different taillight. I would like to find the Euro taillight, so if I can find one of those, we'll be putting that on. These seem to fit up pretty well. From what I was told, they're from a newer ciao, so they don't fit perfect on these older ones. Like you can see, this front bolt's kind of cockeyed. And then on this side, doesn't quite line up with the petcock. If I let's see. If I were to cut it out a little bit, it'd probably fit a little bit better than this one right here. There's no spot for the little bolt with the spring to go in, so I guess that we'll just have to ride empty, and then the back one fit up good, but I think it looks much better with the side covers on. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Next time we'll be doing all that stuff I talked about. So